Let us pray. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to bless this council and all who are engaged in the work of local government. Grant that they may order all things in wisdom, righteous and peace to the honor of thy people and the good of thy people who dwell in this city. Amen. Please be seated. Good afternoon, councillors and aldermen. Alderman Lubimbi, order. Alderman Lubimbi.
Senior management and staff, ladies and gentlemen of the media, and our esteemed stakeholders who might be with us here or elsewhere watching us on social media. The legal question being confirmation of the minutes of the ordinary meeting held on 4 May 2022, attached as Annex A, pages A to G. Thank you, Your Worship.
What do you say, councillors? Thank you. We move to Annexure B, being the report of future water. Being the report of health housing, being the report of the Health, Housing and Education Committee, we'll ask the chairperson, Councillor Mtanda, to give us the report. Thank you. Any seconder? Seconded. Any issues arising from the report? Councillor Moyo. Item is Councillor Chere. Item. Okay. Anyone with an item before? That's item 2, eh? Anyone with an item before item 2? So you can go ahead, Councillor Chere.
Itawuni ifesi edorobho boss. So bekuqhakathekile ukuthi sike sihlanze idorobho itawuni yethu boss. Kodwa ke khonapha into esengicela ukuthi njengoba sesiyenzile iblitz kuward 1 etawuni ukuthi ke selingabuya ke emawadini yethu. Sesilamadampa esabekayo boss. Ukuthi nje nxa singahamba ngamawadi ngeviki sike sidile lamadampu lawa ngozi ngibona ngani idorobho lethu lalaba balokuchapha ukuthi bangayangeka nxa sebebona idorobho selismart okuzwayo. So isicelo sami sokuthi amablitz lawo engapheleli nje kuward 1 akuye next ward kube ngoward 22 nkosi like lisitshayele ngoba amadampu engilawo ngale sesesabela. Ngiyabonga nkosi.
Sorry. Cameraman ngani wangisitela. Councillor Maposa.
Item 4, disease surveillance. Yes. I'm quite happy nxa ngibona ama statistics lapha, especially the issue of diarrhea, there was a marginal reduction in cases of diarrhea. Cases reported in March 2022. That is encouraging, worship. That is encouraging. I'm coming from an issue where there was an outbreak in my ward sometime last year, and the residents were quite impressed by the reaction of the department working together with other stakeholders in trying to arrest the outbreak of diarrhea. However, responding to some questions concerning the issue of the outbreak, our director was quoted as saying that other people faked illnesses so that they can get non-food items that were being distributed in Chabalala, and that angered some residents because we lost lives. They felt that it was reckless. They felt that it was not proper to utter such sentiments. So in my last residents meeting last month, they said the director orders an apology, and he has to come down and apologize to such statements. Just imagine there is an outbreak of diarrhea and people are seized with that issue, and people are, running 24/7 to toilets, and you issue such kind of a statement. Sometimes people, even if you'll be trying to explain here and there, but because of the situation, people might end up even misquoting what actually you are saying. So they said, no, a councillor, since you are our spokesperson in council, go and say this in council that they owe us an apology, and the Residents Association, Chabalala Resident Association, wrote a letter to council to that effect, to say, why can't you come down and address us concerning these issues? And up to date, there is nothing of that sort that has happened. So I think it is important when we approach such kind of issues to make sure that we might not bring up things that might anger our residents.
Madam Chairperson Uzwile, and but we must agree that I think this is why Ian writing about Togoteli having a kani sometimes medical language and medical terms sometimes they are not soft. So we hope the committee and the department will attend to that. Councillor M. Dube.
Item 5, symmetries. Ngithanda ukuthi ngibonge kakhulu.
Item 4. Sorry, item 4. You are doing on item 5. Sorry,
Same issue that item 4.
Item 4. I think sometimes last year you trained the community youth workers, and I think up to now they haven't received their certificates. What action are you taking as a committee to make sure that you give those youth workers their certificates? I think
That is irrelevant.
Councillor S. Wanda.
Thank you, Worship.
Your Worship, recently there has been world outbreak of monkeypox that is slowly being transmitted throughout the world. Your Worship, I was suggesting that we as council, can we take the steps of educating our residents on how the disease is spread and the symptoms. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor P. Moyo. Councillor M. Dube.
Ama-cemeteries ngithanda ukuletha ukubonga ngomsebenzi oyenzayo emangcwabeni. Izikhathi eziningi siyaqalelwa ngabantu sebekhomplela ukuthi utshani sobukhulu kakhulu, kodwa kunanzeleleyo ngibonile enumber 6 hayi sokubuhle Nkosi kusetshenziwe. Engawukhuthaza ku-committee ukuthi asukuyezeni masinyane isikhathi zonke mnyaka wonke, ikakhulu abantu bengabacomplaini, sibekwazi ukuthi utshani laphana kumele kuhlale kukuhle kulabana abalileyo laphana, yende kuyenziwe indawo zonke, amangcwaba wonke ungayenziwa indawo eyodwa. Ngiyabonga Nkosi.
Thank you, Worship. My concern is about cemetery. I think the concern is on the Veve cemetery. Your Worship, ngiyananzelela lapho ukuthi uVeve ngani yosibeka kakhulu abantu ababesithile. Therefore siyabonga kakhulu, of course uDube sekhulumile enye indlela enhle kakhulu yenzakeleyo. But now the thing enginanzelela lapha ukuthi umgwaqo uyakhona ngale eMveli usungani uyawona sona ke Nkosi. Akuhambeki kahle njengoba sikhanya siyawusebenza almost every day. Sisiyabona. So besithi mhlawumbe ngabe lesikhathi kusenzakala sike sihambe siye fana lapha kukhanya sokunamabhampa amaningi ayenziwa ngamaroli egijimisiya. Yikho khona ukuvele isicelo ku-committee ukuthi maybe nxa kuvuma uzabe kulelo khuzeni kule ma-resources maybe bake bawukhangele nje bawufanafana uhambe.
Kwakho khona. Councillor who? Councillor Dube. Councillor Christopher Dube. Yebo. Item 5.
Mbuzo ukuthi why abantu bengabanga, abantu sebengena ngobuningi babo. So angikwazi ukuthi bona abantu abasebenza abasithi council ngale why bengazizwa khona ukuthi nesekuvumelana lapho. Yikho kwangikhathazayo kakhulu my worship.
I think it's your time now to respond.
About the cleanliness sekhona citizen esibili ayisizule isikhala ukuthi licela lokuthi sibuye sizozama njenge-committee sikline kuma-ward. I think what I can say ukuthi as a committee ayisizule isikhalazo sizazama ukuthi sikulandele. Then also uCouncil Patira ikhulume ngama-certificates from health workers ethu. Hayi sizile uCouncil Patira sizazama ukuthi sikukhangelise sikuzwisise sikulandelele ukuthi nxa kumele bephiwe ama-certificates abo bawathole ngokuphangisa. And also sibongela kuCouncil uDube laphana ukhulume ngokubukeka ukuyenzakala kuma-cemeteries ethu manje ukuthi sikulandelele futhi lakho sikukhanyele singene kuma-wards. I would like to say it's noted the message was loud and clear. Emgwaqo sephendulile laphana umgwaqo ikuba u-Alderman Khumalo laphana Councillor Moyo. Then i-issue eyesizinda eyabadala babephathekile. Ngizathanda ukuthi Councillor Maphosa bokumele ukuthi lingakakulethi lapha liqalise likucazulula ukuthi ngabe udokotela wethu ngabe wakhuluma njalo kumbe njani. Ngoba wahanjwa kwayatestwa kuma-lab kwathatha ingcekeza zonke kwakhangelisisa ukuthi ngabe bonke bona laba abanesihudo kuyisihudo yini esibangela kungabi clean kwamanzi kumbe njani. Kwase kukhangelisisa ukuthi inamba eyayiphumile yabantu ababephathekile khona lapho ayisiyo yona le yayikhulunywa ngabantu bonke ababekhala ngesihudo ukuthi bonke babe sebebanjwe lowo mkhuhlane. Kodwa engakutsho ngamafitshane ukuthi ngicela ukuthi ngithembisa ukuthi lawe njengokhansela wesigaba uzama ukubonana lo baba udokotela wethu le-department kumbe le-committee ukuze ube ne-information eyiyo eqondileyo. Sithi sesisuka sesisiya kuwadi yethu sisiyabika kuhle into eyiyo siqondisana njalo. Engakutsho ukuthi hayi i-committee yethu inganguvulekile ukuthi sikunika information ekwanileyo eqondileyo. Nxa kusenzeka siye baxolisa lapho kumele sixolise khona kumbe siye benza bezwisisiso kwakutshiwo ngudokotela. Ukhulumile u-DM lapha ukuthi hayi handwriting yabodokotela kwesinye isikhathi isuku isixegaxega singayizwisisi sikubale siqalisele ekuqaliseni kanti kumele siqalele ekuqaliseni sisiye ekugcineni. Kodwa ayisizwile siza kulungisa baba Maphosa siyabonga.
Councillor Patirai.
The item 14. I think it would be good yesterday. The House to appreciate and thank the donation which was received at Mabugudwa Primary School. We have to appreciate that donation, and also as council, we also have a challenge for us to modernize our schools. You see, education is the biggest investment which we are supposed to do. Without education, the country is definitely doomed to succeed. So I think also as council, we are supposed to put an effort to look for more donors who are going to modernize our schools. And also as council, we are supposed to put a big chunk of our budget on this education sector, so that at least we come up with better, our kids will have a better future tomorrow, I think.
What are we saying about the report? Annexure C, being the report of Future Water and Supplies Committee. Councillor S. Moyo.
That the report of the Future Water Supplies and Action Committee meeting held on the 10th of May 2022 is submitted, be received, and the various recommendations contained therein be adopted.
The report has been tabled. Any seconder? I seconded by Councillor Mzamayo, member of Future Water. Thank you. Any issues arising? Councillor Mlilo and Councillor Mchuru.
Thank you, Worship. I want to take this opportunity to announce my utmost pleasure on the news that Bulawayo Metropolitan Province is closer to getting a permanent solution to its perennial water problems. I think you are aware that the long-held dream of the Matebelen Water Project, which was first mooted in 1912, more than a century ago, is becoming a reality through the completion of the Kwai Shangani Dam. Thanks to the Second Republic.
akukho lapha lokhu phela.
Item by
I'm delighted that the Baisangani is now 60% complete.
Does it have to do with anything to do with the status of water resources?
Uhambi lokho. Kwashangani is not there.
For the sake is that it will allow you to proceed.
I'm delighted that the Baisangani dam is now 60% complete, and its commissioning is earmarked towards the end of the year. When complete, the Baisangani dam will provide Bulawayo with 450 liters of water per day and stimulate agricultural activities through the multiplier. As you are aware, Bulawayo City Council has introduced the 24-hour water rationing. However, thanks to the spending work of the Second Republic, this is now a thing of the past.
You worship
Testimony to the great sides made towards the project was given by the Future Water Committee that recently visited the site to assess the progress. I therefore appeal
What? You are raising that point as who? What is your contribution here? Or you are doing an August address?
My contribution is the perennial water shortages that will affect Bulawayo are coming to an end.
It's not item 1. It's not item 1, sir.
I therefore appeal to fellow councillors to join me in applauding the Second Republic for helping us to realize a century-old dream that was fading away due to non-implementation. Together, united, we can build prosperous Zimbabwe.
Councillors, can I make this a plea with you, esteemed councillors? When we contribute, let's try and contribute in line and not use other ways that will generate this house to be politically a cheering meeting. Let's look at the scope of our responsibility as a local authority, and let's talk about izinto ezikhona ngoba next time sizagcina sesibuzwa izakhamizi ezinto zingasayenzakalanga. But we appreciate what you are saying, but you must remove political words when you contribute here. Councillor Chikora.
From Councillor, he is actually speaking on an item, future water, which is okay, which is fine. But I thought he was going to extend that and give us dates to say when is it going to be commissioned. What he has presented in this council has been the order of the day since 1912. They are councillors, they are ministers, they are presidents who have been singing the same song from 1912 to today. What is the date today? The 1st of June in 2022. If you count the number of years, it's more than a century, like you say. So yes, it is everyone's wish that Bulawayo water will come to an end. But as councillors, I think let's focus on practical solutions and not wishes. Wishes have always been there. Please, Councillor and everyone else, may we focus on the date. This thing of saying by end of the year, this is our solution. I say see our full hands now. And every other leader, please give us water Don't give us songs and hymns. Please give us water. I don't think it's effective that we have already introduced 24 hours schedule, like he said. We have not done. We have, as Bulawayo, we have not yet produced that schedule in 24 hours. But we have indicated, because water is scarce and is short, too soon. But not now. I think I feel now. So thank you very much, Mr. Juru. But please convey our message. Bulawayo is still waiting for water.
A very important point about this 24-hour watershed. We must not just assume things, especially like that. You will cause this. Will cause problems to the residents. She says the water shedding at 24 hours. Velasca figure point. We don't pray as the comrade has promised us. Utamanza sevu. As a boy as a shed. But anyway, we really ungababona abasinceda khona bajedayi ingoma zabo siyazibonga sibili. Amadlozi kaphume phela ingoma sikhale kakhulu. Councillor Mlilo.
Item 5. Mina ngithanda ukuthi ngike ngibuze i-committee. Kulamanye ama-city boards okwahamba khona kwafaka ama-solar i-Africa Ahead. Lenye i-board ku-F square enjuke yafakwa khona ama-solar. Ama-solar khona la sewatshontsha. Esetshontshiwe ama-solar i-board liyana vela ayisasebenzi. Abantu abasela amanzi ngikhuluma kanje ku-F square la ku-H square kulela amanzi. Abantu ade bembuza ukuthi sikhe ngaphi amanzi asela bhobo. Bathi bona nxa besithi abekhansili babuye bezolungisa ibhobo liyana bathi bona kufuze ayiseyiyo yabo isingeye Africa Ahead bona bana babuya bazofaka amasola. So sicela ukuthi lisi explainile ngoba mina ngangekho anti ngeke ngaba kulivile esikhathi ngingekho la. So angikwazi ngoba khona ukhala kwenza kanti ngingekho ukuthi kuhamba njani vele angikwazi ngamiza khamuzi nxa sengisezingibuza ngikwazi ngeke ngafika khona izola kusela amasola sokuvandaliziwe kusela lutho abantu abasela bhobo nxa sebesithi bayabuyela ekhansilini ikhansili ithi bhalani incwadi ukuthi sibe sizolungisa yikho khona okhe ngifuna ukuthi ngike ngibuze ku-committee ukuthi senze njani ngakho khonokho.
Madam Chair comes in. I want to talk about the issue of vandalizing. It is the responsibility of the community to make sure that the property that was donated, because these are donated materials. So it is the responsibility. I think we have got water point committees in these respective areas. It is their responsibility to look after that property. Because imagine if, let's say, I'm just giving an example. Let's say Africa Head donates about 10,000 of these things around the city. And the city now has to employ police as a point la. So isn't pure mahara. Kumele sinjani sizikhangele thina njenge community. Ngoba ade sesadivert imali yokuvala iphotholo eliphambi kweclinic sesiyathenga isolar eyathathwa ngabantu esihlala labo community, because there is no animal that has ever come and stolen. It's us, the community, that vandalizes. So we must talk to each other as a community. If these things serve us, we should keep them. I wanted to talk about that era.
Abantu labana basela ndawo yokuthi bathathe khona amanzi. Africa Ahead siyabonga sibili yafika yenza umsebenzi. Ama committees zona la okhuluma ngayo babe sathi basawafaka in place kwasokutshontshwa. Yes, ngiyakuzwisisa meya, lalela meya anti. Antwana meya kufuza ngikhulume kakhulu ngabo kufuza lalela. Into ekhona lapha ukuthi meya sokuntshontshiwe. Sisalungisisa ukuthi sibone phela ukuthi kwenzakala njani. Abantu abalamanzi reporta ku council ukuthi sicela ndizosilungisela. I council ithi reportani Africa Ahead. Ikho ukuthi Senza njani lapha ngaso kunjalo sibuyela ngale kulabana basifakela amasola kumba siya ku council ngoba ama residents bathi council ithe bona babhale incwadi ebhalwayo ngeyani. That is where my question is. Mina ngiyabonga civil Africa ahead loba bafaka ngingekho but nxa sengikhona bonke khona ukhana ngiyabonga. But mina ngibuza ukuthi kuthiwa ama stakeholders abhale incwadi ukuthi babuya bekhasini bazolungisa incwadi yakhona iya kubani ibhalwa njani yikho khona okwengikubuzayo meya khona nje ayuzwanga kahle.
Hayi nguzwile. I wanted to address into vandalism. Councillor Khumalo, last time I think you had such a scenario in your area.
Uphayo nkosi ukuthi umama ukhuluma iqiniso uthi bengekho.
Yethe ngekho sibili ukhulumile.
Ngofuna ukukhuluma manje phansi ukhuluma. Kuqakathekile badala ukuthi sikuzwisile into lokho. Nxa uphiwe kuthiwa bambanisa nazo ngothuku ubambe kongikwakho angithi. Umbuzo ebengilawo ukhansela ubebambile indawo yakhe engekho yena angithi uthe bengekho ukuthi wenziwa yini end over ngu-Africa ahead. Then nxa kwenziwa end over sengakhuluma ngephambili nkosi wenziwa nkosi end over yini ku-committee leyo obebambile endaweni yakhona. Ngicela ke akamphendule nkosi bese ngiphendula ngithi phambili.
To answer us properly. And Africa had lava where we sign a memorandum of understanding the council.
Wayenda over i-project ku-committee sebeyitrainile efuna ukwazi ukuthi kwawenda over yini.
Ask the caretaker councillor to respond to Councillor Khumalo. Okay, Moyo. F Msipa.
Sile sonke okuqakathekile nxa i-committee sinikwe into leyana nkosi bayinika amandla wonke ukuthi i-protect indawo lana njani. Bayitrain i-committee leya abantu abangu-5 civil committee yakhona ngiyakwazi bayitrain i-committee leyana izakhamizi zona ziyayiprotect indawo yazo ngoba ngokwabo abanye bakhupha izimali benika i-security egcina indawo leyana. Iphutha nje ukuthi sokuthethwe sokuyithi izakhamizi sokumele i-committee yona ikwazi ukuthi i-report yayiripotela emapholiseni kuqala angithi i-police report nditshontshwe phela le kube le case i-council ngapha nxa ifuna kule case report number yokuya ngapha ku-council bezokhalaza ukuthi yeke kutshontshwe esibili angithi kumele bakwenze khonokho. Then i-report izabuya ku-council bezocela bayithi tshontshwele lapha thina soku-department yangikhona ekhangele ngani yezibhorana. Then bazabuya ku-Africa baripoti ukuthi ukuthi hayi bakithi sitshontshelwe lapha thina siyakhalisa ngalokhu angithi. Kodwa okwenziwa kutshontshwe ayisibo phela engxenye i-committee abazali ayisibo baphambanisa uba zozakhamizi ubengeza izakhamizi azange ziyemukele i-project ngodumo lwakhona. Bensithi inkosi nxa kuthiwa izakhamizi azilamanzi mbonani sokungani sokungithinta buhlungu ingixolele bakithi ngoba ngizothi izakhamizi azilamanzi angisakuzwisi khona lokho ukuthi nxa izakhamizi zingelamanzi inkosi kule ndlela izakhamizi zibe namanzi nxa zingela ezenjule ku-F square ayisayixolisa nkosi utsho ukuthi kule phuthe likhona from engineering party ezawukhangela ukuthi indaba engingafiki khona phana amanzi ngoba amanzi awomgodi lawana asiwo ukuthi sinathe nsuku zonke ukuthi singathi singathemba ngawo ukuthi sinatha wona ngithi ngoba sazi ukuthi aklini banjani ngithi ngokuthi akhave laphana laphana ingcene ema-toilet ukuwatsheni lokhu lezi ngadi laphana ukuthi sikusana nathi asibili inkosi kunzima nanzelela ukuthi sike zakhupha amabhawuzi amaningi kakhulu esiza abantu ongenazi khona ukuthi lami ngithwale enzima ngakho kona lokho so ngibona ngeke ukhansa zabe ngece ngenye after this meeting ngakhona kulokho kathesi inkosi uthi akwenze njani uthi ngeke ancedakale but ngikutshontshiwe sibili inkosi ibhorane faka abantu bayalungisa bona omakhelwane abantu le committee yangikhona iphutha elenzakale kibo entweni yabo yabo.
It has been consumed. Councillor Chair.
Councillor Umjulu sisizwile isifiso sakhe kodwa kungumlando wegovernment ukuthi fast track that project ka-1912 nxa ukhuluma iminyaka vele kuhle kuzwisa ubulawa buhlungu lathi silesifiso sokuthi ngavele seyaphela kodwa khathesi nxa ukubeka ukuthi ngani sizaphela ngapha thina kobulawayo sikhangelele ukuthi sizaba lolunye ihlupho kuzagcina ngani kuzaphambanisa abaqede masinya ngoba vele ngumlando wegovernment ukuthi basilethele amanzi kobulawayo sayibona sibili savakatshela khona sisiyakhangela ukuthi iproject iyahamba sathola kuyaqalisa sibili kuyahamba abayenze fast ngoba we waiting for amanzi ezubulawayo ngoba yiduty yabo ukuthi bawalethe siyabonga kakhulu kunanzelela ubakhuthaza.
What are we saying? Now we move to the report of environment engineering. We will ask the chairperson, Alderman, one of the aldermen.
Thank you. I know that the report of the Environmental Management and Engineering Committee meeting held on the 16th May 2022 as submitted be received and the various recommendations contained therein be adopted.
There is a hand. Councillor Elim Lilo. Yes. Anyone with anything before item 4? Nothing.
Siyabona ngiyananzelela imigwaqo eminingi ngale awusahambeki sokuze kusidalela lama-accidents ngamabhodi kuphela ngoba kungani kusamile ukulungiswa khona lokho kwemigwaqo ama-batches besicela ukuthi ngasicela inhlabathi committee siyacela ukuthi inhlabathi ngasiyicela ibuye ngoba kuphambanisa izimota kube sokusiphambanisela labantwana abahambayo so kungamagodi yonke indawo vela kusahambeki besicela inhlabathi.
Thank you. Item 1, Councillor Batira. Item 4. Item 1, Councillor Moyo. Item 1, Councillor Chikora. Councillor Mlalazi. Item. Councillor Maposa. 4. 10. Right. Councillor Batira.
Also want to raise the issue that since 2018 we've been seeing these tenders that nothing.
Your worship, he is in the committee.
Sit down. You decided to not come. Councillor Moyo. You decided to not come, then we assume you agree with the report. Thank you, Alderman, for your wise counseling. Councillor Moyo. Yes. Order Batira, Order Mchuru.
Your worship, I was just looking at this tape here and then getting worried with Uganda. So to talk to myself. It doesn't like this is up to 24 September 2024.
1920-24. Councillor Moyo, which year is that? 1920-24?
2024.
Okay.
It's right now. It's
ukukhuluma lokubiza khona kuye kuyakusesela right mangikhangela lapha le-status sembako eyikho esibhekisa sengikhangela ukuthi umshoko sasilunzile ngo-2024 bese ngithi kuzukulambe ingabe kusesele umuntu engabe sakuhamba because it talks about 2024 athesi vele sengikhale kudala bona sibeka kusahambe ngoba baqalisa the time when they were great of massive then amount okada kulala lapha process they made a mistake ukuthi akusazana ngobele date wazokusenza ukuthi ke amaro onke singathi amabonye okada kulala kwabo yonke emakhaya so kula mthombo but bese ngikhangela ukuthi ma kuthiwa up to 2024 then I surprised ngenxa ngicela ividiyo yacela ihlabathi ukuthi kayibuye phela izithelo ukuthi sisenzele ngibona bakwenzakala futhi so sengikhala ukuthi enxa sibekhangela iprogram leyo no umoya nxa esithi uyakhuluma ngento leyo ukuthi simthele ukuze hayi vele sinamnyango ngo-2024 yeyizowe bengikhangela ukuthi ke issues that one ngicela i-committee kinanzelele ukuthi umgwaqo ngulawakho intatha yabantu bebakhangela imali ngoba izimota sizibota ofe bakhangela sibaleke ukuthi umgqola olungi so besicela ukuthi ke nxa kungabe kusizakala abamfakela ku-period yokuthi i-graphic ayibuye nizeyithelele sizibonele thina mbenge ngacela sorry to say that mbenge ngacela sitsho ukuthi ke sicela ukuthi sisigcine manje bona ukusenza i-program leyi ingakabuyi nawo nxa sembona i-program leyi kusemangala ukuthi so kuyahamba njani therefore besicela ukuthi ke lisinanzelele siyabona.
Thank you. But I want to applaud the efforts that have been made. I think this year, in terms of request, I'm not trying to touch she has already made the request. But generally this year, in terms of farmer grabbing request, I think the department has done very well. Maybe you give me. But generally, if you go around town, roads are bad. But gravel has been delivered in most areas. What can be done? What is to spread the gravel? For most of these requests, the residents, large councillors. But in Lavati, we are not spreading that. That's an observation. I might be wrong. But we are not spreading in Lavati, and yet it's us who have requested for that gravel. At the end of the day, that gravel is wasted. So I want to make a plea with you. Maybe the committee might look at I don't know, but I assume that we are not spreading because graders are and they are not coming to our wards as we requested them. So why don't we maybe come up with a program to spread the lives? We are going to the whole road, and we expect our residents to spread the whole road. It's not possible, according to me. You can spread but if it is the whole road, in some of the areas where I come from, Ulokview Road, I don't know whether you know that road. The whole road is no longer there. And Singafaga gravel Bonaparte. We are requesting our residents are spread the whole road. Why 3 kilometers are spread to 3 kilometers? It's not possible. So I'm just making a plea with you. Maybe hiring may be possible if we can't buy our grade. If our graders out of 5, kusebenza one, it's not going to be possible. So, Mr. Chairman, my request is, please, can you assist us as ama residents? Yes, lapana na lapana sizabesinedisa, but again, remember what this is your responsibility. Listing in grade and this is a million picture. But otherwise, Mr. Chairman, I think you are doing well under the circumstances. Everyone wants the road to be done, but I think I'm a resident appreciate imali ngasathengi. Nxa imali ngasathengi so kumele senze kona lokho ama efforts ama low hanging kona lokho ukuthi senze okuncane kona. Thank you, Your Worship.
But I think I can told them upon a councillor Shibora have said it all. They and the letter the name airport landing Mama Mulilo. Kunesha party area Imamwe 10 put your over witness. Abinhlabathilana seyanetho and umgwaqo akusela lutho. Otherwise i-road yakhona abantu sebezele ngani bangena ku-ground labantwana elebhora. So uba kuthi ibhora akuthoyo ukuthi indawo yakhona lana akula lezindlu eziseduzane bese ngicabanga ukuthi kungcono ngenza ilima ngicela izakhamuzi ngabona okuncane engizabe ngikwenelisile ukuthi ngibacele ukuthi sihambeni siyelungisa ngoba sivele sekukubi ngamandla. Okwesibili ngicela ukuthi ikomiti ilisisize kutete avele lapho kuthena khona imthoba ebuya ivelela ngelukholelero indawo leyalapha ayisayenzi siyagada imthoba uyezwa abantu bethuka ukuthi idolobho selifanana nomgwaqo wenkayi nomeli yiwo orongo kakhulu. And okunye futhi laphana emakhokho ebridgini laphana nxa usuka egaragini hayi amagodi lawana awayenzi kuhle. That's why sizahlala siba lama extents amanengi besikela nje ukuthi ikomiti nxa ingasikhangelela khona abantu ukuthi nje ikakhulu ikinanzelele kakhulu phakathi kwedolobho izinto ukuthi zingani ziyahlangana nje yebo kasila lutho but idolobho lethu silinanzelele kakhulu. Thank you.
Hi, man. Councillor Sibanda.
Thank you, Worship. I think one challenge that we are facing is that most of the residents are not aware ukuthi inhlabathi liyana yibo okumele beyifake kuma potholes. To an extent ukuthi most of them basuke bengafuni ukuyifaka njalo besuke besabe ukuyithatha inhlabathi ye-city council befake kuma potholes. I think we should be clear and communicate with the residents on what is supposed to happen nxa inhlabathi lana siyidampile. Okwesibili, I wanted to speak about the issue eyakhulunywa ukuthi I think we need to clarify on our residents what's really happening pertaining the issue of a statement that we released that we have only used 25% of the money that has been allocated by the government. I think asikacacisele ama residents ukuthi what has been the hindrance of why we are not using that money. I think to Uche, can he clarify to us and the residents ukuthi why has been the problem with that?
Councillor Sibanda, I know Mana Esmond. I know the chairperson will respond to some of the questions, but last Friday we had a very special council, a special one because we've never held meetings on Friday to deliberate on that. And I think councillors got the information which we expect as policymakers to not come here and ask council to explain. You must go and explain to the residents. So we kindly encourage, opportunity. We kindly encourage Honorable Councillor Sibanda to attend special council meetings. Councillor Esmond.
backfilling of best water trenches. Because siyananzelela ukuthi ngiyananzelela ukuthi bayazama abe-department. Kodwa bengikucela ukuthi bake bangani bayalandelela lapha abagebhe khona belungisa amaphayiphi bevale la amagodi. Siyazivalela kwesinye isikhathi but kuba yingozi ngoba imoto nxa zingakwazi sesifika ziyawela ngoba siyabe siphunguthela nje inhlabathi. So ingozi zangikhona ngani sezisiba ziningi ukuthi at least likukhangele khona lokho ngoba sokule minyaka ethile kunjalo.
I think you can.
Never committee was before we respond. Councillor Swati. Ukuthi issue yenhlabathi omele sikunanzelele ukuthi councillor ichayi mathambo ngokubisa inhlabathi khona pha. Isikhathi eziningi nxa inhlabathi leyibuya Nkosi. Ungabona icouncil kuyizodamba ingungayisiyo eza level. Kuyabe kuyi-request yezakhamizi through councillor wakho. So meaning to say ukuthi nxa izakhamizi inhlabathi yalesibuyile ukansela ngiyomela kuyele kuzakhamizi wenzane ziqinileyo inhlabathi ethu ukuthi inhlabathi sibuyile sovala nina amagodi. It's very rare angibona ukuthi kuyakwenzakala ukuthi council kongubuya izondaba kuphela ingaconsultanga ukansela. Ungabona ikwenza khona ukansela iyabiza phendula izovala. So le yezakhamizi hayi izakhamizi ziyakwazi ukuthi izomele zivale ngoba yibo ababeyiqinile inhlabathi yakhona. Ngiyabonga.
I just want to comment on item 10, which deals with the flooding in Country Park, Shalani Kushe area, 7-12. Whilst I applaud the council in trying to fix or resolve some of the issues there, it is also important to note that such things can be avoided before settling people in areas. If you look at the history of all these things, people just, settled there without going through proper procedures in terms of the things that we seek to resolve now. So it is important that we make sure whenever we want to settle people in areas, it might be government or council, let's look into all these issues. Is there drainages, are there roads and everything? And now if you look at this issue, you find out that most of the time we'll be saying, let's say environment funds there, let's do this, let's do this. So it's like now we are channeling all resources to a particular area on the expense of other areas. So when we are doing things, let's make sure that we've done our homework so that we avoid such things where now after building houses has to be destroyed and people relocated. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of resources for the things that has been not been, things that has been solved before. However, we applaud the efforts to fix all those things, but I am appealing to government not to repeat such things. Thank you, boss.
Thank you. But where is the problem, Councillor? Yes, Councillor.
Thank you, Worship. Is my fellow councillor aware that each other the program is self-financing? Maybe he's not aware.
No, he is. That's
not aware of the council funds.
No, he is. That's why he's talking about.
He's not
He is aware. That's why he's raising the point of a person or tatabantu abahlalisa khona ngani. Thank you. Next, Councillor, Councillor Moyo.
We upload the council to the force staff. So
Councillor Moyo, please.
okay, item 5, sort of. Okay, I want to applaud the councillors and the council staff for the work done at convening the new stands development. With 114 stands that were commissioned. My point I want to raise is that when those stands are about to be commissioned, with just upfront cut of supply of water without any notification, and the residents were so bitter. In future events, can you kindly notify the residents before you cut water supply? Because that was, I believe that was a scheduled routine maintenance which you could just easily notify the residents. Thank you.
Next time, Councillor Moyo, we talk items by items. When we are now in item 10, we've already moved all these items before item 10. So, thank you. Sikora, I wanted to say something, but
Councillor Maposa raised a very important issue. That did not mention that it was the first republic that made that air. And Councillor must again try and feedback so that the second republic it does not do what the first did. He is saying it's a self-funding project. It was fun. But Councillor Maposa is talking about life. Flooding involves life. Whether you are funding it for yourself, but we lose lives. So it is very important. But again, I'm not so sure whether it is self-funding. Because last time we had an argument to say, so because that bridge was done by, that road was done by money allocated from Evolution Fund.
Not residents.
Not resident. So I think if he is correcting that, then it's very, I like it, because going forward, we are not going to be giving them money because they are self-funded. if that is what he is saying, then I'm very happy that soon imali izabehamba kwamanye amawadi sisebenzisa silama social facilities lami ngiyayifuna kona ngale last time ngisithi mina ayibuye but we were made to believe ukuthi hayi ngale sekulabantu abaningi ngala abangani bale problem. So Councillor Mtulu, well done for correcting us.
Otherwise, what are we saying in the report? We now move to item, who is, but, oh, item 10. Oh. You want to talk again? Talk.
Item 18, it talks about sewer. Of course, whilst I appreciate the department and the committee in trying to deal with the sewer-based, fixing them and everything, I have a serious challenge in my ward. Block 75, 78. Where that sewer, I think its flow is up to now around 5 to 4 years. there is no longer road there, so kumele uchani and everything. And I'm appealing that that place needs a special attention. Not only that place, also at Masuku Primary School. There is a sewer that continuously flowing. Even if the plumbers come, it will not take an hour. Just imagine, it's a school. And I'm appealing to the committee and also to the department to look urgently into those areas before we can have an outbreak of diseases.
Chairman, you attended to his problems. So what are we saying, councillors? Now we move to the report of town planning. We now move to the report of We now move to the report of Townlands and Planning Committee. Councillor P. Moyo.
I move that the report of the Townlands and Planning Committee 17 May 2022 is submitted and received and various recommendations contained there be adopted.
It has been tabled. Any seconder? Seconded. Any issues arising from this report? What are we saying, councillors? Yes, now annexed F. Umuntu wesipringi lapha. Wazi ndoda wesipringi. Ubunsithi ucancel uNdlovu.
Thank you, Your Worship, for this opportunity. Item 1. Nginanzelela ukuthi la kwenye ama items alandelayo is sikhuluma ngama sport bars. Kuhle abacelayo kuthiwa ama license baphiwa lama stands lawo ukuthi bawoperate, but as a city nginanzelela ukuthi ama sport bars kasincedi kangako. Instead alimaza i-society emalokishini lapha everywhere sohamba khona sports bar abantwana sokunzima ukuthi bahambe ema-shops because abantu ema-sport bars babenatha bezinceda phandle khona lapho. Bengicela ukuthi njenge-city let's try ukuthi sibone ukuthi singakwenza njani imenesi le sikhona ama-sport bars kuma-suburbs wonke sizama ukuthi simise mbijana singanika ama-licenses kakhulu for ama-sport bars. Sikhangele abantu ababezoinvesta maybe in manufacturing kumbe in processing lokunye okukhona hathi ukuthi kube ama-sport bars kuphela kumbe sinika ama-supermarkets kakhulu si-reduce ama-sport bars aseyimenesi kakhulu ewadini ngiyi-ward 8 for example duze le-McDonald laphana e-library ne-craft center kulama-sport bars abantu sebezinceda khanaphana bengcolisa indawo enayana e-council abantwana labantu abadala abangomama akusadluleke. So as much as ngingali le committee ngayisoli ukunika ama-stands ukuthi bakhiwe ama-sport bars bengifisa ukuthi siyareduce i-city of Bulawayo si-concentrate entweni ezipositive ezisinedayo kakhulu ngoba ama-sport bars wana letha i-decency uma-wards abantu bazinceda outside abantwana basathume ukuya emagrosa and sokupromota le-drunkardness ukuthi abantu sebevukela ukuyanatha instead yokuthi bavuke bedinga umsebenzi. Thank you, Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Ndlovu, and you appreciate the difference between sports bar and poker store?
Yes.
Okay.
I do appreciate.
Councillor Alderman Kumar. Order, Alderman. Don't piggies are just contribute. I contribute.
Sorry, Yoshi. Mbona ngani inkosi okuqhakathekileyo ukuthi sazi umsebenzi we-committee uqala. Nxa umuntu ecelile ukuthi ngifuna ukufaka i-sports bar lapha endaweni yamanje kuya committee ecela i-develop permit ukuthi ngifuna ukudevelop into enje. I-committee yavuma kube ukhansili ivume. Liyazisa I think wangekhona bengawazi system yakhona. Nxa ikhansili sivumile ke umuntu uselemvuka ukuthi ngiye kwenza into afuna ukuyenza lwana ngithi Then from there sokuba nemthetho ukuthi uregister kanjani kulikhwana ama license lana lana babe kwezilona konkuyana. Sokubuya bona laba abasebenza indawo naliyana. Umnazo wendawo akacala ingixolele bakithi. Ngokuthi ube lento yakhe ayenze emthethweni. Lo ogangayo lo fika kanjani athenge ameceleni. Asomlando weCouncil wana. Uthi nginamathela umduli ngikhombela asomlando weCouncil. Tshela izakhamizi ukuthi zithenge ezindlini zazo what 8. I-sports bar ukuthi la sihlale phansi sibukele i-TV sinatha sibukela
Real Madrid.
isidla iLiverpool. Because thina I think ngitsho ukuthi ngicacise khona lapho ukuthi i-sports bar kuthiwa sihlala phakathi asihlali phandle. Ophandle usevele useseceleni kwecala uselecala lakhe ele-public drinking. Councillor ncedisa abantu besitolo lapho. Utshela izakhamizi zakho ukuthi izakhamizi zami bakithi ngiyacela thenga utshwala lehlala endlini zenu iquestion kumele ingene phakathi nathi kwe-sports bar. Ungafuni ukuvala into esithe sesisuke emabhawa sathi sesithi sesifuna comfortable ezindaweni ehlale sibukele ukuthi izinto zethu wena usufuna ukuchithiza. Asibongeni bakithi ukuthi okunye i-committee isebenzile kuloko yakunika umuntu esemthethweni ogangayo othatha iyozenzela into engekho emthethweni. Chairman we-committee ngiyabonga mina into eliyenzayo nalokho liqhubeke likwenza libanika indawo abantu.
I think what is key is policing. Actually, what is causing problems most are Boki stores, where people buy in the Boki store and start drinking outside. But esports bar is where you get in and buy your alcohol and sit on a chair and drink inside. Simple. That's a sports bar. If Boki store, it's a challenge. Those are the things that are giving us challenges. So that is the other thing that we need to look at it. I am a sports bar. Singavala sports bar. We should say the problem. You can't speak twice on an item. That's the rule. Thank you. Sorry, Councillor, we can't speak twice on one item. So what are we saying about the report? Next annexure, the report of that's GP. The report of the General Purposes Committee. I move that the report of the General Purposes Committee meeting held on the 24th May 2022 as submitted be received and the various recommendations contained therein be adopted, but there is an item that needs to be removed. The item that talks about I think that's item 1. We'll ask this House to allow us to withdraw item 2. It wrongly found itself here. So then what are we saying about the report? Councillor Mlilo. Item 3.
Item 3. Okhuluma ngomama ozakuyasimela uKhansila Mtanda siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi uzahamba esimela khona la zasimela khona njengabomama. Into eqhakathekileyo lapha efuna ukukhuluma ngayo ukuthi can I find item 2?
Yeah, item 4 also. Mrs. Dove. Item la right up.
Item 3. And then I tell withdraw item 2.
Younger 2, 3.
Afana ibe khona.
Matraffic lapha. Can we do item in a leo ngale ku council committee? What are we saying, councillors? No report. Which item?
Item 6.
Councillor.
I just want to ask the chair, what are you doing those bills which you overcharged? There are 2 ways to the solution.
Right, thank you. What are we saying, councillors? Annexure. The report of the Finance and Development Committee. I'm not seeing the chairperson. I'm seeing the deputy chairperson, but it looks like he was not there in the meeting.
Thank you. I move that the report of the Finance and Development Committee meeting held on the 25th of May 2022 as submitted be received and the various recommendations contained therein be adopted.
Any issues arising from Councillor Mlilo, then Alderman Kumar. Anyone before those Muntwagit? Councillor Ndlovu. You could talk how we would, yeah. Wait, let's see.
My question to the chair is that what are you doing with those bills which you overcharged in the residence last year?
Thank you, Councillor. I'm being advised that on Friday there was a special finance mainly on that. So you will meet the response in Councilling Committee. Thank you. Councillor Mlilo.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu ikomiti bencedisana ngewathi retention ewathi ngiyangane ngoba amathuba engabhoda ngane njengoba liyakwazi ukuthi ngeke ngaba kubivi abe lokho ukukhuluma ngoba ngeke ngaba ngike ngabhoda ngafika khona phana esasithe la stakeholders lama residents avumelana ukuthi kuyakhiwe ama toilets ku library iyenjube ngoba abantwana basebenzisiza phandle. Siyabonga kakhulu ngoba ngihambile ngathola ama-toilets wonke aselungile. So kukuhle sibili ngiyabonga kakhulu kodwa kulezinye izimali ezilokhu zikhona amawindi e-library khona phana afile amaningi. That day izinto ezifika kulomoya abantwana nxa bephakathi babe umoya uyabongena amawindi afile. Ngiyabenzela khona lokho ukuthi phela into one ukuthi what retention fund yona leyana vele ithi isebenzele ukurepair amawindi xa kungukuthi kuyavunyelwa ngoba amawindi afile abantwana nxa bephakathi bebala amabhuku besenza bengenwa umqamo nxa kuvuma kanti ukuthi what retention fund yona leyi elokhu ekhona kathesi irepair amawindi wona lawana ngaba continue repair ngoba indawo eyi-one.
Projects for water retention fund. Alderman Kumar. I Councillor Ndlovu and then man.
Ngiyakubongela uKhansela uMlilo ngoba yena ungcono imali yakuya yazi ukuthi sisebenze njalo lanale eseleyo bemvume ukuthi isebenze. Mina ngibuhlungu bakithi ngemali ewadi 2 ewadi retention ngoba sile project evele ikhona eyama street light embona ngani kuko kwazama ngani sibili baphonga ukuya kube bayevela kamba bekhangela kancwazi ngoba ngabe ngabona kuma group sibili uma resident babe sebezama ukubonga ukuthi kuthi lo msebenzi onjani ozoyenziwe wathi kodwa ukusukusela khonapho wathula wathi into yokuqala qala ukubuza befuna ukubuza umphathi wemali ukuthi ivele yona imali yethu ikhona yini kumbe lilomnye umsebenzi eliyisebenzisayo xa kungukuthi lilala peliqala lisebenzise khona lithi nxa seliyibisela lifakeni phezulu ngoba nathi imali nxa isenziwa isimbazwe nxa isibuya ilabantwana kalisoze beyisebenzisa imali yethu ingabuyi labantwana so ngicela ukuqala ngibuze khonapho ukuthi singayisebenzisa lilethe ilahle ngoba phela ayikwazi ukuthi imali le ikhona emaphepheni yona ingekho ngibona ngani kukhona ngoba mina ngibuhlungu ukuthi iproject yethu kuthiwa imota kanti behlulani bakithi ukuthi ngithenge ngoba ngiyeke nibe ngimangala kulo munye resident wangiza wathi kathi ama-streetlight apho nguma wona emele eqalise uhlala ukhuluma ngokuthi khona yena imoto ifile angazi ukuthi kwakuzaba ye-trade fair yini abantu bayibona leyo mota isihambe kulungisa amalayithi so mina ngicela ukubuza angazi ngizaba ngiphambanisa ukuthi imoto leyani ivuka nxa kuyi-president yini ngoba nxa kuzaba uyi-president imoto leyani yavuka so ngicela ukuba bhasi khonapho ngoba singalungisa imoto ukuthi kulo muntu obuyayo uzabona njani ukuthi abantwana bafangendlala vele kasinayo imali so yiwo umbuzo wami khona ukuthi imoto leyani ilunga nini ngoba iba yesikhathi sokuthi nxa kumele ukuthi yenze umsebenzi kodwa nxa sekulomunye umsebenzi wabantu abaphezulu imoto leyani iyavuka ngicela ukuthi ngibuza ukuthi imali leyani evusa imoto leyana ngesikhathi kukupresident lihlala liyibeke ngaphumbeki yiwumbuzo wami khonapho elungisa imoto wathi ukuthi izosebenza kubantwini ngicela ukubuza futhi ukuthi liyasivumela yini ukuthi sihle isiphe kawani kumbe siyenze iproject kumbe sithenge ibhizi sifuye ngoba namaleyana iproject idafuna ukuyisebenza so ngicela ukuthi mina ukuthi nxa kuvele kungelamali namhla kubuya abakhulu akuhlale kunjalo khona ubabezabona ukuthi ilizwa limangakuhle singathathi imali zamanye amawadi bese silungisisa imota siphinde futhi angikwazi mina kanjalo njengowadi kansila wadi 2 ngoba imali yethu sifuna ama-streetlight siyakwazi ukwadi 2 kulabasimo kulalawana elibazi o-exet babengafuni ukuthi izinto ezingane zinjani so ngicela ukuthi iviki le isiyaphela libe selilungisile imota njengokuthi kwesinye isikhathi liyayilungisa
Councillor Maphosa.
Ngiyabonga izwe ukansela umlilo ebonga ukuthi isebenzile sibili ewadini yakhe. Sengibuya ukansela uNdlovu she is crying ukuthi there is nothing that is happening with the money retention. I also want to appeal to the committee that they look into issue 121. I've asked for a tennis court And until now, there is nothing that has been done about it. I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking for a world-class tennis court. I'm asking for a tennis court that can abantwana badlalele nje. Not something fancy ukuthi akula mali akuna lokho la lokho. As you are aware, the issue of drug abuse is rising. It's another way also of entertaining the youth so that they find themselves occupied. So I'm appealing to the committee to release this money so that the issue of tennis court in my ward is done.
Councillors, let's avoid coming here. Lama complaints from our wards. Let's go to respective departments for such complaints. Kulamanya ma general complaints yokuthi affects us as a city, but kulo kunye ukuthi ngokwe warded. Thank you. What are we saying, councillors? Oh, Alderman. Alderman Kumalo and then Alderman Rafa Moyo. Same item in a Kulman Council.
It's no longer working for the purpose when it was formed for. I-retention fund yayi imali yokwenza umsebenzi khonapho kumawadi. But it's now taking years ukuthi kuze kwenze umsebenzi yakhona. Your worship, sicela ke if this policy was to save the ward khonapho akwenze kube khona. Ngiyabona.
I can't say I sevenze completely because thina abanye kuma ward we are happy. Alderman Kumalo. I'm happy what's happening.
Alderman Rafa. Your worship, ngifuna ukukhala ku item 15. Sub item 30 ku standard allocation. Because kule nto eyenzakalayo into lengeye Bulawayo City Football Club. Esasicele ku council sinika sibili kuhle. Then ukhanya ngani ndifuna ukusithathela Nkosi. Ezi football city iphekiwe. So ngibone ngani singavuma ukuthi lokho kuhambe through Nkosi kuzasiphambanisela abantwana bethu. Ngoba iphekiwe liyana UF under junior team ama-junior teams zethu under 11 under 13 under 17 yethu Nkosi. So ngibone ngani ngiyabe selimaze ontanga ikakhulu ngalokhu into lokhu. Ngicela ukuthi Nkosi likubiselane emuva lokho sikuqondise ngemuva ngiyacela. Ngiyacela ukuthi mbisele kubisele emuva le report le.
Supported. What are we?
Kena labo abezokhuzela ngabe department yakhona onzi siluza le nto kawulephuta.
Supported already. So what are we saying, councillors?